This is a Global News special presentation.
Survival comes with a story.
3 months and I was in debt, broke, homeless, and unable to keep going. That was December 2005.
It's been like the toughest 3 years of my life.
There's certain rules that I had to survive.
The survival stories here are filled with struggle, change, and constant uncertainty.
I had to walk 5 miles to go use a bathroom and not a bucket. And I've cried the whole walk.
My hands blistered up. I lost feeling. It's excruciating pain.
You're gonna die. That's all there is to it. This is a real life. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. It really is me falling through every crack you can imagine.
We start here with Kimberly. This is everything you own?
Everything I own, yes.
It's not much, but Kimberly Robertson's purse is filled with essentials, and the essential to her.
Everybody knows me and they know I wear wigs.
Years ago, Kimberly worked as a hairstylist. She still has a passion for it. She found this wig on a snow pile inside a satin bag, a rare and unexpected gift. And on this day, gifts are perhaps fitting.
This is my birthday dress, because my birthday's tomorrow. I'll be 44.
Birthdays are often a time to reflect, and Kimberly does. She documents everything in her diary, another one of her essentials.
The purpose of it is to share information with what's going on.
The diary is filled with her history, a life few can comprehend.
I miss meals a lot. This is a very bad time. I was in an abandoned house and I woke up and I got bit. It would have been a big spider.
There are also the dreams.
Find other people who are talented, smart, and who are positive. Establish ground, someplace to call home, and a real home that is free from bugs. I can see transformation, I can see the need for change. That's one thing we can count on.
Those are the hopes for the next year. Kimberly dares to dream, something that can be difficult amidst so much uncertainty. So often, she's focused only on the now. She has to be. What's the game plan for the temperature drop?
I don't have one. I go to the Hope every night. I don't plan ahead. I've actually learned the power of now is how to survive anything.
Without her, I wouldn't have made it through these past few years.
It is a romantic statement, but it's far more than that. For Leanne Wuttunee and Cardinal, it's a fact.
He literally saved me from freezing and stuff like that. He got me
Oh yeah, this was the first time I got pneumonia. I let her sleep on top of me so she wouldn't get sick.
Leanne and Troy have been together since 2011. They've been without housing since 2019. Every day since then, they've thought only of their present.
It's been the toughest 3 years of my life.
Troy and Leanne don't feel safe in the shelter system. They say they've had bad experiences, like theft and violence. They also worry they'll get split up. If you're not in a shelter, whereabouts do you guys usually sleep?
Sidewalk, or try to find a warm fan.
We'll get some cardboard and stuff like that, and put the cardboard on the cement.
In minus 30, you'll do that.
We almost died.
Last year in the wintertime, we almost froze on White Ave. We had 2 blankets each and we were on the bench.
Yeah, my hands blistered up. I lost feeling in my hands and my feet.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been trying to keep us safe and alive.
They've been separated before. The effects, devastating for Leanne.
I cannot eat, I cannot sleep without me getting worried about where he is and what he's doing or how he's surviving out there.
But they always find their way back to one another.
I just keep looking.
Some barriers to housing are easier to break than others. Troy and Leanne use drugs. At one point in our interview, we had to take a break so they could use. Troy acknowledges that their substance use makes it difficult to find stability. The urge to use drugs is always there. Sometimes it's stronger than any other need. They'll get connected to support and lose it just as quickly.
They should take us seriously when we're trying to tell them that these things are happening to us. but all they do is laugh or say you're doing too much pint.
They recently got connected to social assistance payments, but it's not enough to get what they really want.
To get into an apartment, we've been on waiting list since last year.
And waiting isn't easy when the need is happening now.
The first night I moved in here, I slept like a baby.
On a relatively warm day in January, Kimberly reflects on her life, trying to survive and to thrive where she can. She says it's complicated.
We need to have a sense of community. I'm in Edmonton. I chose Edmonton. I'm here at Edmonton. You can't get rid of me.
She's lived in the city since 2003, briefly going to Europe to work as a nanny. But when she returned home, things began to fall apart. She quickly went from housed to unhoused.
There's no reason for me to be homeless, really. I knew I couldn't afford to live in a house, so I would have to make do. I didn't let my life slip from under me, but I was still open to the idea that I hadn't tried hard enough to get where I was going.
On this night, she'll take one of the 125 spots at the Hope Mission's Space for Women.
Sometimes there's a lot of diarrhea.
In the space where you're sleeping?
Yes, basically. I take everything I own with me because you can't store things there. Otherwise, they would be a really fancy hotel. Really fancy hotel.
Kimberly's sense of humor helps her cope, but not always.
I do cry, I do have bad days.
To escape, she dreams.
I will live in the trees, yes, because I want a tree house.
Just not yet.
I am late waking up. I'm at Boyle Street waiting for lunch because I just got here at 11:20 a.m. I will usually sleep at Hope, wake for breakfast, and then walk to Boyle and sit till lunch. Push the button, push the door. Button and door same time, yeah. There you go.
Here at Boyle Street Community Services, Kimberly guides others on how to fill their days.
I'm in. You guys coming in behind?
For years now, this has been her routine.
We just give our name, and they'll tell us if we have problems or if we're banned or something. Hi, Kimberley Robertson, Hope Mission.
It's not a space to sleep, but still one of importance, a refuge for right now. And on this day, there's an extreme cold warning in place across Edmonton.
With me having bands, it is scary. There's not a lot of places to go.
It's a place to pass the time, charge your phone, and heal old wounds.
They have Band-Aids to everything.
How's that doing on your arm, that spider?
Well, it's better than it was. It's so hideous, man. I could show people now, kind of, but abandoned house, don't do it.
This building's services, a bandage for a life that brings the unexpected. How was your morning?
It was okay. It was hard because the lady in a walker threw coffee at me. So I have no pants under my pants, yeah. So I have to get a pair of pants here. No pants.
But that doesn't mean Kimberly can't find what she needs.
I draw, I sit around, and then if I have money, which will be till tomorrow, then I go get a coffee or something somewhere else. Thank you very much, honey.
Over coffee, there's a moment to relax and think. She ponders why she feels bound to the shelter system's routine.
I can't rely on the Hope Mission to be stable enough to go in to have even a job. You can't function stable. I just want a room right now, and then I get to work, and then I start making money, and then we can move on, right? Things like having clothes, even makeup aside, because I can't keep it. It's so weird to carry your closet around.
Right now, she's waiting for a call from the police help team. That stands for Human-Centered Engagement and Liaison Partnership. She wants to be connected to more resources.
You might not do anything, but I'm expecting there's housing somewhere that if somebody could just put me somewhere.
The call doesn't come, leading Kim to feel her long wait must point to a lack of options.
There's no real housing options, I don't think, honestly, is what's going on.
But there are housing options. Homeward Trust alone has at least 400 supportive housing units, with more on the way. But many people without housing bring up the same concerns about a lack of options, highlighting a problem connecting people to those resources and the perception of access.
I don't know where to get a list. I don't even know when I type online, where would I sleep tonight?
Having your own space is like a blessing.
In a space that's all Adam Krause's, he's filled it so he's surrounded by family.
These two are my grandma and grandpa.
Were you close to them?
Oh yeah, very close. All of these clothes down here came from my father. He passed away 4 years ago.
It's been 4 years since he last had stable housing. He got here about 4 months ago.
The first night I moved in here, I slept like a baby.
Before this, he stayed at the Hope Mission's Herb Jameson Center. He didn't like it.
Let's just say that building was a hellhole. I walked by here 7 times a day, every day. I saw a number, I took a photo.
Did you have much option?
No.
Tell me why you're laughing at my comment.
Because I honestly didn't think I was going to get this apartment.
Like Kimberly, Adam points to a lack of options and personal problems he doesn't want to get into.
Long story short, I had a bad life when I was younger.
He's here now and settled, but already change. In a few days, his rent is going up 12%, from $490 a month to $550. Krause lives on a fixed income and says that's almost at the top of his budget.
As long as I have a place to live, I'm happy.
Not every space is his, and this one comes with some growing pains.
The building is kind of falling apart, but it's livable.
Still, he sees opportunity here for other people without stable housing.
If we had buildings like this, we could just disperse them all over and get the people that want to move out.
But community is what he's missing. Have you made acquaintances with any of the neighbors?
I run into them almost every day. I just don't talk to them.
He dreams of going back home to Stony Plain to get closer to family. Finally, able to think about what's next.
To the Edmonton public, you are right. This homeless situation is way out of the norm.
Kimberly's life is a constant rebirth, easily shedding what's not needed.
That is my little bag. I'm leaving it. There's nothing in it yet.
After a coffee, she heads back outside.
Woo! It is chilly. Got my bag. Very simple.
The present is where Kimberly lives, but the past finds her anyway.
This is your sleeping bag from the other day?
Yeah, but I gave it to a girl who was freezing outside. Maybe it's where she camped.
That's where Kimberly draws the line. She says encampments aren't safe.
I couldn't do tents, like I keep saying, because the dangers of it all. Violence happens, it's easily burnt. They've had propane tanks blow up on them in a tent.
A battle between the cold and heat has deadly consequences. At least 4 people burned to death in encampments in 2023. Many suffered frostbite.
You're getting chilly.
Yeah, my hands are frozen.
That's why Kimberly's worried about friends, a mom and her daughter. She's been trying to get them to stay in a shelter instead.
Nana, Sean, are you here?
But sometimes people just disappear.
I'm just looking for a couple by the name of Troy and Leanne.
The last time we saw each other was March.
March
23rd, what happened?
Well, 23rd, I got arrested. At night, jaywalking, but I had 11 warrants, so I don't want to talk about that too much.
Kimberly's been serving time for 5 months.
I just slept and ate and sat. I did the time, so I don't have to go back to jail anyway, for now.
Upon release, Kimberly found herself in another unusual situation. She got connected to housing.
I have a chance again, which is funny. I'm 44, but I am a little bit concerned when somebody else has control over my roof, over my head.
Kimberly's staying at the Salvation Army. She's in its stabilization housing program, but she'll move to the 2nd floor soon, paying for a room by the week in transitional housing.
I have been surviving, right? And then I have now this chance to go back into like the society and be a contributing member.
But after so many years unhoused, that transition isn't easy.
If I don't like it, I said I'll go back to the street.
I think somebody will watch this and say, but you have guaranteed food, you have guaranteed shelter.
Yeah.
So why?
Why? Because I felt so good when I just had to go from moment to moment. In that period of time, which was 5 months, like so much changed.
While in jail, she found out her friend, Johnny Mack, died of a drug poisoning in an encampment. It still weighs on her.
You're gonna die. That's all there is to it.
A reminder that this space provides insulation in many ways. Yet she feels like she still hasn't quite found what she's looking for.
Getting somewhere safe to relax. That's the only thing you need.
And she has made progress this year.
A home base is good, right? It's good to have something to count on.
But Kimberly's dream remains.
If I could build a treehouse, I would be in my treehouse.
How was the summer for you both?
Went in the same circles, I guess.
But something different was happening in Edmonton. For the first time, the city triggered its extreme weather response due to bad air quality.
You're getting up like with sore throat.
Yeah, for long. You're able to look at the sun directly.
Troy and Leanne are outside constantly.
Nothing we can do. We gotta walk around to go get just basic things.
They're still trying to find housing, but they've got more pressing concerns. Right now, always seems to get in the way of tomorrow. The pair were robbed a few weeks ago. They keep their belongings even closer these days. A mat for sleeping, clothes, water, and naloxone kits.
Strong dope hits the streets. We end up saving a lot of people.
In the first 11 months of 2023, 608 people in Edmonton died from opioid poisonings. Troy and Leanne tried to help some of them.
We'd find someone in a back alley. Some of them would be turning blue already. There's no pulse, no breathing.
Yeah, he do CPR.
She still gets a bit scared. I'm worried about her.
Why do you worry about Leanne, Troy?
I don't like seeing her scared. I don't want the other person to die either. Sure, they have family. Brings back bad memories of when I went under. Nobody was around.
Again, Leanne points out the one constant in her life, Troy.
I actually need him around too.
And Troy, what would life be like without Leanne?
I probably feel like I have no purpose.
This life, a day-to-day struggle. Tomorrow is always so far away, but they take solace that they're together through it all.
How are you feeling about winter coming? How are you getting prepared for winter?
I don't even think we are prepared for winter today.
Hi, sir. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm just looking for a couple by the name of Troy and Leanne.
In late November, Troy and Leanne's phone stopped receiving texts. They couldn't be found in shelters or encampments.
Troy and Leanne.
But whispers of their whereabouts continued.
So Jasper Husky was the last time you saw Troy? Did you see if Leanne was with him?
No, he was alone.
He was alone, okay.
Troy and Leanne disappear. A January deep freeze settles in.
So this is home? How do you keep warm in there?
Propane, heat.
You ever get worried about fire?
No, I catch fire all the time.
The weather is the least of Vance DeRoche's concerns.
You can beat the cold, sometimes you can't beat the people.
Unsafe living conditions, gang activity, assault, a few of the reasons why Edmonton police say many of these encampments couldn't remain. DeRoche says survival is complicated.
They become family, they fight, they steal, and they're friends at the end of the night or the next day.
On a night where the wind chill dips below -40, Justine Cardinal's beginning to freeze.
I'm gonna sleep outside tonight or sleep inside at the Bissell, I don't know yet.
For now, she'll warm up inside DeRoche's tent, along with another person. DeRoche says it's likely 10 people will share this space overnight. In temperatures that freeze skin within minutes, this man, Daniel, is wearing a pair of running shoes.
How's it been in Edmonton for you?
Depressing.
Where are you sleeping tonight, Daniel? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I don't want to lose any more people. Empathy to some people is a weak trait. Empathetic people are not weak, they are human.
With less focus on meeting basic needs, Kimberly's giving attention to her passions instead.
Art is important. It's important, even if you don't think you can draw or something, just to get out whatever's in your head. Having somewhere to have my things all day and then come home to that is my space, that nobody else is in, is nice.
But there's rules here, Kimberly says. She particularly doesn't like not being allowed inside her room for certain time periods.
Talk to me about this, Kim. I mean, you're trying to get in your room and you can't go.
I'm not allowed every day, 10 till 2.
Kimberly likens the experience to a teenager living with her parents.
This isn't housing, this is just shelter, really, right? Like we pay for it, but it's good shelter, quality shelter, except that the space is contained for me because I pay something into it and collect an outfit or two. That's the benefit.
And she's keenly aware of how she's perceived. She says it's a little easier to fit in now, and that means something to her.
One bag was my rule. I don't want to look like a homeless vagrant who has needs. As much as that sounds maybe superficial or headstrong.
With the help of the Salvation Army's program, she's exploring supportive and affordable housing programs. Kimberly is meant to be here for no more than 18 months. This space designed to move her toward a more permanent solution. After so many years living by her own rules, this space forces Kimberly into habits she's not used to.
I'm really happier so far still when I was outside. Even though I was surviving harder, I really was more content being myself. It's really difficult to live around society, period, and I don't want to not fit in.
It reminds her of why she started writing in her diary, to show people the complexities of this life.
I brought you something. Wow, thank you. All my current criminal charges, again, we're not going to read that. And my family at that point had just assumed things were drug related, and my mom never did believe my situation. And that began my even worse scenario. Oh, you know, okay, that was a heavy one, I don't like that one. But I have written that story lots, it's nice to say it out loud. The reason I'm writing it is to have it lost, right? And to have somebody read it. You don't matter, you know, and there's no one to answer the phone when you call, there's no one that loves you anymore, it seems.
You had said that you felt the year would bring change.
Yeah, it's changed, a lot of change. The change is the only thing that stays the same, so.
Today, Kimberly is reflecting on her 44th year of life and looking forward.
Make some substantial goals. Take them slowly, but do them right, you know, like make a dentist appointment.
She's still in her housing unit, still looking for a permanent place to live.
But it's not happening fast, so that's frustrating.
And it's not a year without loss.
It's fair to say that a year ago, some of those folks you knew did not survive to today.
Kimberly says some died in the cold. Most died from drug poisonings.
I guess I knew that when I met them, sort of, but I didn't really realize that. You're like a throwaway person. Do you know what I mean? Like that to me was just like crazy. I don't want to lose any more people.
A simple wish that exists under the weight of a complex issue across the country. Kimberly's situation replicated thousands of times with variations of circumstances and success, a result of economic, social, and personal challenges.
There's no way to close the door on this 2 decades it's almost been of crap.
It's a life that is uncomfortable, complicated, dangerous. People on the streets struggle to find help. Governments struggle to find ways to offer it. Kimberly knows she's not easy to house.
I have to say I like the chaos over the calm. I'm trying to learn about that aspect of myself.
Her life is still filled with uncertainty, but she is certain about one thing. If she was outside this winter,
I would be dead, right? Like if I'm sleeping out in the corner somewhere, I don't think I'd make it this year.
On our final day together, Kimberly wants to show us where she's been spending her time.
There it is, my favorite spot.
You know what this reminds me of, Kim?
What?
Is a treehouse.
Nobody can hit me from above, nobody can hit me from behind, nobody can get me. I'm safe.
That's the real-life desire inside of a dream, one to be warm, safe, and independent. Her escape from this reality is her treehouse. For Adam, it's found through his family. With Troy and Leanne, love makes life easier. But all want to move beyond survival, and that's the catch. When survival consumes you, little attention is paid to the change happening around you. This year, as with so many others, Kimberly merely endures that change.
I'm not proud of anything yet. I haven't gotten anywhere yet, right? Like this is just me surviving, really, still.